Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining today. Thought I'll just give us a moment to all settle in. As you're joining, feel free to say hello to us in the comments. We've got a team on standby to talk to you, answer your questions, and share resources as we go throughout the session. We can keep this interactive. If you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Say hello if you like to. Let us know where you're joining from. Did anyone here actually attend Ignite, or were we just watching it online? I know I was watching it online, but that was still pretty good anyway. So let us know where you're joining from. Say hello. And I think we'll get to it. So thank you so much for coming along to our session, What's New and Upcoming in Microsoft AI. In the last couple of months, there have been some big announcements and also a couple of big conferences too. There was the Power Platform conference that happened, so we got a few announcements from that, and then even more that happened at Ignite past in November. And we're keen to share some of the highlights. The stuff that I've focused on today is going to be around the agent side of things, what we get with Microsoft 365 Copilot, as well as some things to do with workflows, building apps, which is pretty cool, so I'm excited to demo that one, and something with Copilot Studio. So here's what I've got planned. It is exciting when you actually see some of these new features appear in your system. So I am quite lucky that I actually had a few appear in time for the session today, and I'll be able to give you a few demos of what you can expect and what's upcoming in these areas too. Okay, and with that said, let's start off with our first feature to share with you today, which is workflows. Traditionally, or maybe what you've been using at the moment, are tools like Power Automate and Power Apps to build your flows and your apps, which are great. These are low-code, no-code tools that can be quite simple to pick up to start using. But if you thought that was simple, then my next two features here, workflows and something else called App Builder, just makes that a whole lot easier. So let's start off with what workflows is. Now, this isn't Power Automate, but it's kind of similar to that. What we're doing here is that we're able to build out a process that we want to run using this AI chat. So I can describe a process that I would like to build, and then this workflows agent can go and document what those steps are, and I can go and run that. This is something that was announced back in the Power Platform conference, which was last month, I think, or maybe no, it was in October, I think, wasn't it? So let me show you what this can do. So workflows is an agent that you're able to go and find. Now, this is part of the Frontier program. You will notice that on some of my slides, I've got it on this one. I've said if it's available already or if it's part of this thing called the Frontier program. If you're not a part of it, it's something that your IT admin can enable for you, which is good because you get to try out all of the latest and all of the new features that are being released. So just to let you know, a lot of the stuff that I will be showing you today is accessible via this program. So yes, your admin though will need to go and switch that on for you. So I've got it here on my screen. It's simply, I can go into my agents area, and workflows is one of these agents that I can add it. So directly from Copilot Chat, I can go and build out this automation. Let me show you an example of me doing that. Let me jump back into the agent here, and I'm going to give it a prompt. And I'll zoom in a bit there so you can see it too. Each morning, use an AI prompt to summarize. Oops, I think I clicked something there. That was not meant to happen. Let me jump back into my agent. I thought I had set up all the tabs so I can quickly go through it. Let's try that prompt again. Workflows agent. And here's the prompt. Each morning, use AI prompt to summarize my unread emails and post the summary as a Teams message in the marketing Teams channel. So typically, if you want to go and do this, you would have to go to Power Automate and go build out that flow. Yes, there is Copilot in Power Automate to help you do that, But this allows you to build it directly where you're already working, here in Copilot chat. And look at this, it's building it for us in real time, and we can see it as it's going through the instructions that I've given it. It's picked out a trigger to run daily. It's picked up that it needs to do an action to go and read my emails, run an AI prompt. So this is where I can get it to go and generate something like summarized content. And then finally, it will go and post a summary into that Teams channel that I specified. Now, first go, it may not be perfect, but that's all good. You can keep putting follow-up prompts in the message here and watch as Copilot will go and fix what those actions are doing. So I'm going to go and save and publish that one. It may take a bit of time until that is ready, but I'm going to show you one that I set up before. I'm going to head back into my workflows agent. You can have, of course, more than one workflow running. So when I go and open up the agent, I can take a look at all of the ones that I've created before. So here's one of them I did earlier, where I want it to give me a weekly review of what my emails are, categorize them, the unread ones, and then send me a summary in Microsoft Teams that goes and shows me what they are with the categories in it. So over here, when I did run that, I got a response and it went to send me that Teams message where it went and performed that task for me. Now, you can't build every type of workflow with this compared to the type of stuff if you're familiar with a tool like Power Automate already. This is slightly more limited. So in a moment, I'll bring up the types of actions that you can currently use with it. But just before that, here are just some other suggestions of things that you're able to build using this out. So you can do things with Planner. It can pull out the tasks that are assigned to you and send you messages, such as in Teams, with what those are. You could have a weekly occurrence where it can look at your calendar and then send a summary to your manager. Or similar to that AI prompt one I just used, where it can go and generate a summary for me and then go and send that into Teams. So at the moment, these are the types of things that are supported with it. So you can do things that occur on a recurring basis. You can do things where it's looking for meeting times, where it's getting your events, getting your emails, replying to emails. For Teams, you can get it to create a chat, post a message. SharePoint, you can get it to interact with your lists. It can get your tasks from Planner, create approvals, find who your manager is, and also generate AI prompts. Now, moving along, so that's the workflow one. The next one is that in a similar fashion, we can use this to build apps directly within Copilot Chat 2. So this is a different agent. Unfortunately, I haven't seen it pop up for me just yet. I think it might be limited to the US Frontier program for now. But you've got this app builder agent that allows you to simply describe the type of app you want to build, and then it can build that for you real time, just as you're looking at it. Now, this isn't Power Apps, it's different to that, but I've got something next that I'll show you, linked to Power Apps. What we're building here is an app that's connected to Microsoft 365. So when you go and you build this out, you can describe the type of app you want to build. Like, I want to help something to help me plan my career, something to help me track all of my team's tasks. You can even attach a reference file like we've done there, and it can use that for the context of what it's about to create. And just like that, it can create our interactive app, give it a nice design, give it pages it will need, and you may need data stored somewhere. It can use Microsoft Lists to go and create tables for you where you can go and input data via the app. And of course, as you talk to it, you can put in your prompts to keep telling it to make changes as you go through it. So if you are more on the Power App side of things, maybe you want to go and build apps that actually have the security in place, that proper Dataverse backend in your apps? Well, yes, Power Apps, of course, is still there. But what was introduced is this new experience for Power Apps that's a bit similar to this one that I showed you here. But there's a lot more work going on in the background of this one. So vibe.powerapps.com is where you can go to try out this new experience. If you do want to try it out, by the way, it is available in the US region if you've got a preview environment. I'm not in the US, by the way, but I can still use it. You just need to set up your environment in that region, and then you'll be able to test it out. Okay, now the difference here with this one is you're building out a Power App, and it's based on Dataverse, but it's that similar experience where we can talk to it, and then it can go and make those changes for us and do a live build of that app, just as we're looking at it. Now, this is so much easier than, I don't know if you've ever built a Canvas app before. I know they put Copilot in that to make it easier, but you can really spin up something that looks great, fully functional, just in a matter of a few minutes with this. So let me show you what that looks like. Now, I pre-did one because it can take a bit of time to generate. This is the new site, vibe.powerapps.com, and you can start off by describing the type of app you want to build. If you've used Power Apps before, you may have seen the plans feature that's in there that does something similar to this, where you can go describe the app, it can create tables and builds apps for you. But this takes it to the next level. So there's a bit more going on with this newer experience now. So let's say I might try this equipment request one, but you can, of course, type in your own suggestion. Let's build it out a bit more. Let's enhance the prompt to be more specific in what we want to build. So now that looks like a bit more of a legitimate request of what we want to build an app for. We've told it exactly what the employees need to do, what the managers and these different roles need in terms of the app. So we can go and send it out, and it starts off by doing this map for us. So this likely looks familiar if you've looked at plans before, where it can map out what those roles are, what each person needs to do. And you can keep talking to it as you go along. So if you need to go and fix something or adjust what it suggested, you can simply just type in that message there. Your data model, it can go and build that for you. So this is built using Dataverse. Now, my one will probably take a while to run here. In fact, let me click on it and see if it's ready. Oh, that was fast. So it is. Otherwise, I was going to show you one I did earlier. And let's try and zoom in. So it's created a series of tables, or it's planned a series of tables for me. That is relational. So it's mapped out my fields I might need, created the tables and the relationships between them. And I'm just going to go ahead here, but usually we'll look at this properly, review it, make sure it looks all good. We get this app tab 2, and now this is doing the work of creating that experience for us. I'll show you one that I did earlier. So for this one, I was building an event management app, and it created something that looks like this. It's fully responsive. This is the home page of it, where I can see my upcoming events. I can see some analytics, latest attendees, RSVPs. So let's say I've got an event coming. I can click into that event to view and edit the details for it. See some analytics on the attendees. Dive into who those attendees are. Let's go back to the home page. View a profile of it. So it's a fully functioning app. Now, making changes to it. I've got here the back end of that. So my app is published, but maybe I want to go and make some changes. Now, again, this can take some time, so I put in a few things already to show you what some of these changes are that I made. I actually told it, add toggles for the user to change the color scheme. And I picked the original one, orange and purple. So what it did, went and added those buttons to it. So you can see when I interact with it, it follows the color scheme that I picked. And further down, I also asked it to add more charts to the home page. So this is my home page of it. And now in this new version, it's added a few more charts for me. And a bit of fun, I did this one earlier. I got it to add a game to it. Tic-tac-toe. So all I said was add a tic-tac-toe game to the app. And then actually I was testing it out earlier. Just by writing in that basic instruction, it was able to go and create that in the app. So that's a bit about the new experience. Looking forward to getting my hands on this a bit more. But yes, if you are keen to try it out, you just need a US-based region with preview features, and then this will take you to that new experience. At Microsoft Ignite, the headline feature was this thing about work IQ. So I wanted to talk about this and then talk about the next few features that we have, which is all about the types of new agents that we have coming to the Copilot suite. So Work IQ is Microsoft's new intelligence layer, powering Copilot and your agents in Microsoft 365. Now, when I first heard about this, I thought, how is this different to what it's currently doing? How is it different from Microsoft Graph that's being used with Copilot right now? So Microsoft Graph connects your organizational data, your emails, files, your meetings. So Work IQ goes a step above that. It adds memory, it adds reasoning to it. And it learns from your patterns, your preferences, and your relationships to understand what matters in your workflow. It works like a continuous feedback loop where it can look at your activity, it can refine its understanding from the style that you like, and then it uses those insights to be more proactive and more context aware in the types of responses it gets back to you. So say I'm going to Copilot and I'm asking it to give me an update on a project. So Work IQ has the ability to then pinpoint what those relevant files are, conversations. It can adapt to our preferred presentation styles and also suggest the right people to be involved. So really key distinction here between Microsoft Graph versus Work IQ is that this actually interprets your data and how you work more to deliver those personalized experiences. And yes, so this is something available as part of the Frontier program. Now, the next few agents that we look at uses this Work IQ as a part of it. Agent mode in Excel was another announced feature here. So this is a new capability that's also available through the Frontier program for Copilot licensed customers. So this allows you to bring your external data into your workbooks in Excel, and it can also integrate web search with that. And this is all, of course, that natural language interface. So rather than you needing to write those complex formulas on your own, you can just describe what you want, whether it's analyzing data, building tables, creating charts, and then Copilot does that work for you, and it explains each step as it goes through it, which means you can guide it, you can make manual changes to it as you need, and you iterate with Copilot together until it is meeting your needs. So something like this really makes analytics accessible to everyone in a business. Now, we already have Copilot in Excel. You might be thinking, how is this any different? Well, take a look at some of the suggested prompts you can use in agent mode, which I've got on the screen here, compared to if you are someone using Copilot in Excel at the moment, the types of things you might ask for it there. So at the moment, if I go into Excel, start Copilot, I might ask it, write me a formula to do this, calculate the average of that. So they're very basic things, whereas with this, you can see we're actually getting it to generate full reports for us, like create a monthly financial report with these things included in it, build a loan calculator, create a monthly household budget tracker. So you can apply much more information, dig a bit deeper, build full reports out with what you can achieve in agent mode. We have some office agents coming to Copilot Chat. There's going to be an agent within Copilot Chat for Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. And now this allows you to build your Word documents, your Excel files, your PowerPoint presentations within Copilot Chat itself. So what you can do is you can put in your prompt. You can also, of course, tap into the web sources to pull that through and how it builds it out. So here I have one on the screen where I've explained a Excel report I want it to build. So it's going to show you each of the steps it's considering and ask you follow-up questions and clarification as you go through it. So you can work with it on this plan and then see it build it out in real time, side by side. The same thing, of course, for PowerPoint, for Word. So you can go to Copilot Chat, describe the PowerPoint presentation you want to build, and then keep talking to it, see the changes in real time, side by side. You can open it in PowerPoint, in Excel, in Word at any point when you prefer to move over into that app side of it. Okay, so moving on, Copilot Chat in Outlook. Well, we've already got this, right? But for those people who actually don't have their premium Copilot license, you don't get to experience what the rest of us do when it comes to managing your inbox using Copilot, which is something I'm sure we all want and need. So a key announcement here with Copilot Chat in Outlook is that there are going to be some additional experiences for that now, for the people who actually don't have the premium Copilot license. So at the moment, if you are on the non-premium license, you can use Copilot in Outlook. You can ask it questions, but you have to have that email open for it to know what you're talking about. So soon, this is coming to preview in March next year. It will be able to look through everything. You don't have to open up that thread or that email for it to go and know what you're talking about. It's going to make it so much easier for you to stay on top of your inbox. A few other frontier agents that we have here. So we've got something called People Learning and another one called Workforce Insights Agents that will be coming. And of course, these are powered by WorkIQ, which is Microsoft's intelligence layer. The Workforce Insights Agent is there to give leaders real-time data on the different roles, tenure, location, and to see trends and make informed decisions about the workforce. There's another one called the Learning Agent, which is about delivering personalized learning experiences for you. It can pull out courses that it's curated and build that aligned to the types of skills the team needs and your company goals are. And then we've got the People Agent one. So you can see here, I started putting a prompt in that one. It helps you find the right people to connect to. You can search your colleagues by role, by skill, by the function, and then suggest the best way to reach out to them. So I've got a preview of that one here. I can show you it. So again, if you're on the Frontier program, you'll be able to find that in your list of agents. So I get an agent experience that looks like this, where I can switch between these two tabs. We've got this organization one, which is where I might want to look at a whole organization basis around some insights on who reports to who and where they might be based. And I can also look at things on a personal level too. So let me click on one of my employees here, Avery, and it's giving me the summary about her, where I can see meetings that we've got in common and any topics that we might be working on together. Teams mode, this is in public preview at the moment. This turns Copilot from a personal assistant into a collaborative team member and does this right inside Microsoft Teams. At the moment, you might be talking to Copilot, but it's a very personal experience. This is going to allow you to bring Copilot into group chats and channels, which means that everyone can interact with it, ask questions, and then access those same AI-powered insights together. So say you're working on a cross-functional project, like exploring a market opportunity, and you want to get perspectives from different people across the team, maybe finance, sales, the product team. So by adding Copilot to group chat like that, it enables that real-time brainstorming, action tracking. You can have that shared problem solving all in that group together, which ultimately helps the team collaborate much better and build a much stronger business case for that project that you're working on. Let's take a look at Agent 365 next. As we can see, especially from these announcements so far, that AI agents are really just going to become more common. Agent 365 makes this easier to monitor and to protect them, and you can do that all from one place. This is Microsoft's new control center for managing your agents across your organization. So as businesses are adopting more agents, it could be one built with Copilot Studio, maybe Microsoft Foundry, or even the partner ones like Adobe, SAP. This is going to provide you with a single platform to deploy, organize, and govern them all securely. So from here, you're going to get that visibility into all of your agents, what they're doing, who they're connected to, and you can also manage access to information to ensure that they are operating as intended and quickly identify any issues that might occur. Anyone here use Notebooks? So Notebooks has become one of my favorite features that is there as part of Copilot. If you're unfamiliar with it, so this is for licensed users that get the Notebooks feature. It allows you to group topics together or projects you might be working on. So let's say I'm working on developing an app, and I might have different files related to that. I can build a notebook specific to that task, add all the related files, and then within the notebook, I can go and have a chat with it. And it already understands the context that I've given it with those files and those instructions that sit within the notebook. So this has been around for a while now, but there's some new features coming here. So one of these things is the ability to share it. I actually had this question the other day, can you share a notebook? So at the time, no, but it's like the next day, it got announced that you can. So at the moment, when you create these, they're just for yourself to use. But soon you'll be able to share out that notebook out with a colleague. So maybe if you're working on a group project together, you might get one person who does the setup, and then everyone can leverage the benefits of it and use the chat feature that's included in it. Okay, a few other things there. There is currently an audio overview where it can give you a podcast-like summary of all the files that you've added in the notebook. But there's going to be a video overview feature coming soon too, which will give you that AI-generated summary to quickly catch up on the progress of it. One other thing here, it's going to be able to suggest new notebook topics for you based on what your recent work has been and what your priorities are. Okay, and the last one for today, let me know if you have any questions so far. By the way, we will have this recording available too, so you can go back and rewatch it on demand later. But one last thing to finish us off, wouldn't be complete without Copilot Studio, right? So agent evaluation is something that is available in preview now for you to go and try out. In Copilot Studio, you might be building an agent that perhaps connects to a knowledge source. And with that knowledge source, there could be a wide variety of questions you might be expecting the agent to be able to answer well. But it can be hard to go and sit there yourself to test out every possible question and every possible way someone might go and enter that in when they talk to the agent. So this evaluate feature just makes that process a whole lot easier for you and can automate that task of testing out how the agent is performing. I'll show you what that looks like here. I've got my agent opened up and I've got this evaluate button. It also comes in the tabs at the top there, which allows me to run a test against my agent. Now, I did one before. Let's run a new test then. I could already have a series of questions I want to give it, but that's going to take a bit of time for me to come up with those questions. What if I just want to quickly get Copilot to suggest some for me? We can generate a question set. So it will AI generate a series of questions that it thinks will be relevant for this agent to answer. So it's not a few there. And then we can click evaluate. So with that, it's going to run those questions through our agent, and then we'll be able to see how it performed. Did it pass? Did it fail? How did it respond to that scenario? Now that may take a moment, so I'll open up the one here that I did before. So it will give it a score. You can click into it. Did it pass, fail? And then you can see how it responded, which means you can rate it. And then that allows you to easily pinpoint which part of the agent, which questions do you need to go and address before you actually put it out to the user. And then they're the ones who discover that it's not working. We have a question there, I see. Does it work like MS Loops? So I'm going to assume that that question is in regards to notebooks that we were talking about earlier. So notebooks itself isn't Loop, but what you can add into a notebook is similar to Loops. I'll bring it up, actually. We've got a bit of time here. I don't know, I'm not sure if you ever heard of pages before. So when you get a response back from Copilot, you can add it to something called page. I'll open up one here that I did before. Oh yes, this is the new experience, by the way, which actually just landed for me about a couple of hours before I did this presentation. And I noticed it's not perfect yet for me. It was messing up my screen a bit. So let me see if I can navigate to the right one I want. I wanted to show you the pages. So this pages feature, if you want to go and check it out later, that is essentially Microsoft Loop, but it's like a longer page version of it. But it's the same sort of thing. So it's like an interactive workspace where you can write things, put in tables, action items, and then you can share that out with your colleagues. Okay, so there is a lot there to go and explore. We will be sharing some links in the chat with some further reading. So if any of that stuff seemed particularly interesting to you, I've shared like the official post where you can do some further reading. Try and see if you can get on the Frontier program. But again, that's something that your IT admin will need to enable, as a lot of the features that I've covered today are part of that before they become generally available. We would love to hear your feedback about what you thought about the session too, and let us know how we can help you. So at Akkodis, we have all of our Microsoft experts, our AI experts. I myself run a lot of training on Copilot and upskill teams on it. So let us know. You can scan the QR code here, and we'll love to hear what your thoughts are and where you want to take it next with your team. We'll also share this link in the chat as well, so you can access it there. And with that said, I think we can close things out today. So again, keep a lookout. You'll be able to catch the recording of the session if you would like to rewatch it. Happy to connect on LinkedIn too, so feel free to send me a request if you would like to discuss further, see how Akkodis and how we can help you with training or getting set up with all these amazing features that we've just taken a look at. So have fun exploring this stuff if it's available to you already. And looking forward to seeing you next time. This is probably the last session that we'll be running for the year, of course, but we'll be back in 2026 with a lot more. Thank you all for joining. See you next time.
Engineering a smarter future together.